Welcome to the morning after week number 4 in the CFFL. It was kind of a strange week this week as we get to the scores. We'll see. We'll get right to it right away this week here with week 4. First game that we'll talk about is in Rogers We Trust versus the Little Big Men. In Rogers We Trust moves to 3-1, 75 to 50.5 winners. Matt Gay with 15 coming off. He had a good fantasy week the week before, but missing 2 extra points in that short field goal for a Bucks fan really stunk. Fantasy-wise, didn't hurt him. 15 points. Todd Gurley also had 15, although disappointing points for 15. Todd Gurley, I think he only had like 15 yards rushing. The Gargoyles topped 100 points this week, probably almost as much as their first 3 weeks combined. They really struggled, but huge week this week. 21.5 points for Chris Godwin. Take down the Black Dingoes, 111.5 to 39. Dingoes had 10 points from LaShawn McCoy. If you're wondering, Chris Godwin, I thought he was on a different team. He was. Big trade this week in the CFFL. Chris Godwin, a solid number 2, maybe a low-level number 1, probably more level, high-level 2, along, I'm drawing a blank, along with Juju Smith-Schuster, went over to the Gargoyles. Juju Smith-Schuster with a less than stellar performance in the Monday night game. For Devontae Adams, who had a heck of a game on Thursday night, no touchdowns though, and Mark Andrews. Looks like it might be an okay trade for both teams. Mostly highlighted by Adams and Godwin because Juju at this point does not look like a viable number 1 at all. Maybe a low-level 2, high-level 3. Anyway, back to the action. Bruisers took down Dr. Dangerous 60 to 47.5. Jared Goff had 20 points. Dr. Dangerous had no players in double digits. Get used to that phrase. Team Price is Right had 42 points with no players in double figures, which is amazing when you have Patrick Mahomes. But that's probably the one time this year he won't hit double digits. They fall to the Horn Dogs, who had 55 points, and Phillip Rivers again had 15 points, Mr. Consistency. Chris's Cardinals take down the Badgers, 83.5 to 73. Austin Eckler, probably in his last game, being the lead dog in LA, 18 points. Matthew Stafford, 18 points in a gutty effort, coming off a, I guess, relatively serious hip injury. The Gargoyle and the Bucks take down the Minotaurs 82 to 30.5. Nick Chubb had 27.5 points as he torched the Ravens defense. And again, theme of the week, no players in double digits for the Minotaurs. And a crazy part is the Minotaurs only had a high point of 6 for Frank Gore against the Patriot defense. Usually don't see a high points of 6 on a team. But kind of a crazy week this week, low scoring in general. Player of the week, as the aforementioned Nick Chubb. 165 yards rushing, 18 yards receiving, 3 touchdowns, 27.5 points. Hot Chubb time machine. Huge week. Best week in the league. Sorry about your fantasy team. Is the high point key Fond du Lac? The last 2 weeks have seen the only 2 teams this year score 100 points in fantasy. Griff's Gargoyles and Tyler Rebeck's in Rogers We Trust. Will the Pride of St. Mary Springs High School be able to pull off another 100-point week this week? One of the 2 of them, possible. They don't always happen that much in the CFFL and any in our league, depending on scoring, but they don't happen that much. Possible. I'm actually going to go out on a limb and predict either somehow the broad shoulders of Joe Fox will lead them, some team, to 100 points this week, or, and I'm sure this is really going to sting Griff and Rebeck, but the best dancer in Fond du Lac, Michael Ballone, I think might have a 100-point week this week coming out of him. He is better dancer than both of you, significantly. So sorry to break that to you guys. Anyway, games of the week. Next week, myself versus the Bucks. 4-0 Bucks versus the 2-2 Cardinals. The teams, this is a rematch of Super Bowl number 25. Also, the last 2 times the 2 of us have met in the regular season has ended up in a tie. If it happens again that we tie, that is the craziest odds in the league. That'd be 3 straight years we have a tie. Especially if one of us has a guy on Monday night, because it seems like someone Monday night always ends up in the tie for us. So we'll find out. Also, if you notice in the bottom of the ticker there, the news of the week in the Wiffle League, I did take down Michael. First ever Wiffle matchup between the 2 of us, but I did take him down thanks to Ezekiel Elliott's touchdown, although he stunk last night. So thank you for tuning in. Best of luck this week to everyone except Kent. Hot Chubb Time Machine can do it right because I have him in the other league. But the rest of your team can really lay an egg. Dalvin Cook, nothing, not a whole lot, I don't think. Hopefully not. So, all right. Thanks, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.